We are talking about burnout, its causes, its impact on our well-being, and some practical ways to recover from it. Hi there, I'm Ayo from the Talking Hub, where we explore effective ways to improve our psychological health and well-being. Burnout can be described as a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress in our lives. Some psychological theories suggest that we become vulnerable to stress and burnout because the demands placed on us exceeds our coping abilities, and this leaves us feeling emotionally drained and overwhelmed because we feel that we have nothing else to give in our lives. So why do we experience burnout in our lives? Some of the common causes of burnout could be heavy workloads, unrealistic responsibilities, a lack of purpose, and poor work-life balance. We might also experience burnout due to intense stress, exhaustion, and the lack of some proper rest and recovery from difficult situations or circumstances. Burnout also happens because our bodies and minds are not really designed to cope with prolonged periods of stress without any breaks at all. One of the reasons we could experience burnout is because we set ourselves with some unrealistic goals and expectations. This makes us feel inadequate because we genuinely think that we're not doing enough to achieve these goals. We could also experience burnout because of a lack of social support and positive connections in our lives. We also become more vulnerable to stress and burnout when we feel isolated and unsupported in our personal or professional lives. And finally, we could experience burnout when we neglect our own personal needs and self-care. This can happen when we consistently put the needs of others before our own, sacrificing our time, sleep, and other personal activities. Now, burnouts can potentially have a negative impact on our psychological health and well-being if we do nothing constructive to address the situation. These impacts could be anxiety. Burnout can lead to high levels of anxiety in our lives because we feel overwhelmed, helpless, and worried about some of the events happening around us. Burnout can also lead to physical exhaustion and health problems in our lives. We could experience fatigue, insomnia, and headaches just because of these overwhelming situations. One of the negative impacts of burnout on our well-being is our inability to cope with our daily activities. We could feel pressured and emotionally drained because we face constant demands, which makes us feel worn out, making it harder for us to cope with our daily activities. Burnout also reduces our performance and productivity because we begin to find it harder to concentrate, make decisions, or complete tasks effectively. This also leads to making simple mistakes, missing important deadlines, and ignoring outcomes. And finally, burnout can cause a strain in our personal and professional relationships because we might find ourselves having less patience, empathy, or time for others. We could also withdraw from social interactions, lash out in frustration or anger, and damage our connections with our friends, family members, and colleagues. So we've been able to define burnout, discuss some causes and why we experienced it, talked about its negative impact on our psychological health and well-being. Let's now discuss 5 practical ways to recover from burnout. Setting simple boundaries for ourselves and learning to say no can contribute to helping us recover from burnout. It might seem a bit difficult at first, but we must set realistic expectations, communicate clear boundaries, and decline certain requests because our own well-being must come first before anything else. One other practical way to recover from burnout is by prioritizing our self-care. This could involve engaging in activities that boost our overall outlook physically, mentally, and emotionally. These activities could be as simple as getting enough sleep, eating well, exercising, or just pursuing our hobbies that bring us joy and relaxation. Another important way of recovering from burnout is by seeking support from others. Social support is essential for our daily lives, and this could mean reaching out to friends, family members, specialist professionals for specialist help, encouragement, or even emotional support. Reevaluating our priorities and values can also help us with recovering from burnout. This means taking a step back to reflect on what truly matters to us and making some personal changes in our own interest. This could involve creating new goals, finding our purpose, or letting go of commitments that are no longer beneficial to us. And finally, we can recover from burnout by consciously making enough time for rest and recovery. This means taking regular breaks throughout the day, going on vacation, and prioritizing our sleep. So here's a quick review of what we've discussed on how to recover from burnout. We've established that burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress. We also know that burnout could be caused by heavy workloads and poor work-life balance. We've also explored its negative impact, such as anxiety, poor performance, and exhaustion. So it's fair to say that addressing burnout in our lives is important because we are able to maintain our physical and emotional health, our performance and productivity improves, we communicate better and build positive relationships, and finally, we're able to rediscover our sense of purpose and fulfillment in our lives. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the Talking Hub, and you can listen to or download this episode on Spotify, Google, or Apple Podcasts. Thank you.